So me and this friend of mine, he's Spanish. Let's call him Pedro. We were watching a James Bond movie, one of the old ones with Sean Connery. And so in the movie, like in all the James Bond movies, Q gives James Bond first. He gives him his car. It's like beautiful, does lots of weird tricks. And after Q's done presenting it, James Bond says some corny line. But I couldn't hear it because my Spanish friend started yelling, "Cállate! Cállate!" So the first time I just ignored it. Then Q gives James Bond a special gun that he can hide in his shoe that's indetectable to metal detectors. And of course, James Bond says some, silly quip about it. And my Spanish friend once again yells, "Cállate! Cállate!" I was starting to get upset because I was missing all the stupid jokes. I wanted to hear them. So finally, Q gives James Bond a fancy watch, but his has a wire that pulls out of it, which you can use to garrote somebody with. I mean, he is a paid assassin after all. And as James Bond's about to make his quip again, my Spanish friend once again yells, "Cállate!" And I was like, what is your problem? Why do you keep interrupting like that? After Q, you makes no sound. I spent more time writing that joke than I'd like to admit. So one of the four languages I'm learning is Norwegian. You might be wondering, why would anyone bother? Almost all Norwegians speak English, so what's the point? And it's a very small population country. It only has 5 million people, which is a very, very tiny percentage of the world population. Well, the reason is because I'm from Minnesota, and originally, and I saw the family tree at one point. I don't remember exactly what the number is, but I think I'm a 5th generation Norwegian. Well, American. My ancestors came over on some boat 5 generations ago. Most of the history is pretty boring. I think the 2nd or 3rd generation male was killed by a cow, of all things. That's kind of interesting. It kicked him in the stomach, and a couple days later he died, probably from internal damage. I never met the guy, so it's all rather meaningless trivia to me. I know that sounds cold, but it's hard to care about people you've never met. I do my best, but it's hard, especially when they died 50 years before I was born. I'm on the 3rd book of this French series, and I still don't know how to pronounce the main character's name. Her name is spelled Camille. I think the rule in French is that double L becomes a Y, but I'm not sure it always does, because Allée is pronounced with an L sound, not a Y sound. But anyway, so her name is either pronounced Camille, Camilla, Camille, Camilla. I have no way of finding out unless I actually hear a French person say the word out loud. Or, look at some tables that explain how the double L works in French. I know it's not as simple as in Spanish, where it's always a Y sound. The other thing I found was something that I can imagine parents yelling at their kids. And that was one of the characters yelled at one point, "Je travaille, bon sang, fiche-moi la paix." It means, "I'm working, for God's sake, leave me in peace." Although bon sang means, or bon sang means good blood. I don't really know why that's for God's sake. I guess the French use the word blood a lot like the way the British do, where they just swear using the word blood for some reason. Fichez-moi la paix doesn't literally translate to leave me alone. It literally translates to give me peace. Or give me the peace, like there's only one in the universe. That's French rules, though. The peace. When I was reading the Spanish book, I noticed that there's a word chiquilla, which means little girl. Chica just means girl, and chico means boy. I was thinking, is that why in English we have the word chick? Does it come from Spanish? Is there some kind of relation there? And in the future, will women refer to men as chicos in English? As Spanish overlaps more and more with English, and at least in America. I noticed that in German, the word schlaf means sleep, but it sounds an awful lot like the word Sloth. Sloth. So does that mean that sleeping is a deadly sin? In this book about the dragon, it's, inspired by things like J.R.R. Tolkien. I mean, it's not really surprising, right? And in there, they have a set of mountains called the Misty Mountains. Of course, they don't call it that because it's in German. They call it the Nebelgebirge. And to me, that just doesn't roll off the tongue as well and doesn't suggest adventure in the way that Misty Mountains do. Misty Mountains to me sounds kind of like a magical phrase, but Nebelgebirge just sounds kind of rough, like it's a place just filled with rocks. Just the way it sounds to my ear, if that makes sense. And when I was reading the Norwegian, I saw a word I already knew, but I thought it was kind of entertaining this time. So one of the characters says, "Ja, det stämmer," which means that's right. Stemmer is a verb that means something is correct. We don't have a word that we don't have a corresponding word in English, as far as I know. But to me, it sounds like somebody like stimming, which would be like a thing for taking illicit substances. So I can imagine a father talking to their child. Stemmer du igen? Nej pappa, jag stämmer inte. Egentlig? Nej pappa, jag stämmer. Jag stämmer. Well, if you show up again, you'll see me once again. Hasta luego.